There will be no loyalty except loyalty to the party. There will be no love except the love of Big Brother. There will be no laughter except the laugh of triumph over a defeated enemy. There will be no art, no literature, no science. There will be no distinction between beauty and ugliness. There will be no curiosity, no enjoyment of the process of life. All competing pleasures will be destroyed. But always do not forget this, Winston. Always there will be the intoxication of power, constantly increasing and constantly growing subtler. Always at every moment there will be the thrill of victory, the sensation of trampling on an enemy who is helpless. If you want a picture of the future, imagine a boot stamping on a human face forever. In 1984, we are presented with Winston Smith, very much a small figure in a vast dystopian society, intended by Orwell as an everyman character. He is relatable and a man to sympathise with as he transitions from intelligent, rebellious individual to crushed and cured party fanatic. In contrast to Winston, his nemesis O'Brien is very much larger than life, though occupying much less plot time than Winston or his lover Julia. O'Brien is a domineering presence throughout the story. O'Brien is a high-ranking member of the inner party, ruling elite of oceanic society. His exact job is not known, but other clues throughout the novel indicate O'Brien, whose first name is never revealed to us, occupies a leading position within the elite itself, perhaps close to Big Brother himself, or even part of the ruling collective that essentially makes up Big Brother as a concept. At the novel's opening, O'Brien is a figure of fascination for Winston. Indeed, the catalyst of Winston's opening of his diary is an unspoken encounter between the two men during the 2 minutes hate. At the daily event, Winston, always hopeful that O'Brien's orthodoxy was not perfect, seems to have this tentatively confirmed with a momentary glance that suggests both understanding of and support for Winston's secret disgust and opposition to both Big Brother and the party. O'Brien largely remains a mysterious figure throughout Winston's journey, though Winston has always felt very drawn to him and fascinated by his charismatic presence. Winston, of course, begins his love affair with fellow outer party member Julia, and it is not until the later second part of the novel that O'Brien seemingly confirms Winston's suspicions about him and an organised opposition. Approaching Winston on the pretext of offering him a look at the newest edition of the Newspeak Dictionary, Winston surmises that this must be an attempt at recruitment into the Brotherhood, a shadowy opposition movement. Having given Winston his address, an unusual act in itself, O'Brien invites Winston to his own home to give him a copy of the dictionary. On arrival with Julia, Winston's hopes are confirmed, and O'Brien indeed appears fully committed to the overthrow of Big Brother, the party, and all the rest of it. O'Brien inducts both Winston and Julia into the Brotherhood and arranges for Winston to receive a copy of Goldstein's book, the highly forbidden text that explains the true nature of oceanic society, and supposedly written by the leader of the opposition, Emmanuel Goldstein. Through reading this, Winston has all his own thoughts on the structure of his society confirmed. However, before his journey into the Brotherhood can develop further, both he and Julia are captured by the Thought Police, and O'Brien is eventually revealed as an agent of the Thought Police. It is in the third part of the novel that O'Brien takes centre stage, directing Winston's reintegration back into society, which involves beatings, torture, and mind manipulation. The dark culmination of this process is the final breaking of Winston in Room 101, the place where individuals are made to face the worst thing in the world. Having broken Winston's final shred of opposition, his love for Julia, O'Brien emerges triumphant over Winston, having cured him of his insanity, in truth, his rational and natural opposition to Big Brother and his society. Winston is permanently changed into a good, thinkful and loyal party member who loves Big Brother as genuinely as O'Brien does. So what is the purpose of O'Brien really? O'Brien represents the party itself. He is very duplicitous in nature, successfully luring Winston into open rebellion through the fiction of the Brotherhood and his own actions. He, like the party itself, is a man of contradictions and unyielding cruelty. Just as the character of Big Brother in Universe is useful as a human face towards which both love and reverence can be directed, O'Brien is useful for Orwell as a human figure around which to focus the party itself in world. Through O'Brien, the inner meaning and mechanisms of oceanic society can be explained in all their horrific detail. The contrasts with Winston are heavily apparent throughout the novel. Winston feels small, a lonely heretic, unsure of the truth of his own secret opposition to the party. O'Brien has a large personality, an almost noble-like bearing, and his very presence and manner even impressed the skeptical Julia during their meeting. Winston is either unable or unwilling to employ doublethink, the key mental process of holding two contradictory thoughts in one's mind simultaneously and accepting both. O'Brien, by contrast, is highly adept at doublethink, easily forgetting the existence of photos recently destroyed that proved something that contradicts the party. Whether O'Brien actually believes in the concepts he tries to force onto Winston and others is ultimately unknown. However, it's likely that he does. The idea that O'Brien may be a hypocrite, a man immune to the restrictions of his society, is unlikely given what we know. Inner party members are not unscrutinised by the thought police. Jones, Aronson and Rutherford were purged earlier on, but also another inner party member, Withers, was also made an unperson during Winston's own time, showing even members of the elite could be singled out and purged. Given the restrictions on inner party members and the process of doublethink, the more horrific implication does seem plausible, which is actually more unsettling. Winston himself admits during his torture sessions that O'Brien does seem to fully believe what he is saying. O'Brien, as intelligent as he is fully committed to the society he collectively rules with his own class. As he frankly admits in Winston's holding cell, "They got me a long time ago." As explained in Goldstein's book, actually partially written by O'Brien himself, fanaticism increases the higher one goes in oceanic society, with inner party members arguably being the most deeply ingrained and fanatical adherents of Big Brother and the party. As to the question of O'Brien's own orthodoxy then, I think it's safe to assume he is genuine in his beliefs. Unfortunately for Winston and other thought criminals, O'Brien also shares the party's goal of eradicating all heretical thoughts. O'Brien's torturing of Winston does achieve its dark purpose of curing or eradicating Winston's independent mind, a mind with thoughts that contradict and challenge the party's reality. So that was O'Brien, the antagonist of 1984. What do you think? Did O'Brien truly subscribe to the principles of INGSOC? Let us know in the comments, and remember, Big Brother is watching you.